Now, before we get into this video, it's important to note I am not a qualified financial advisor, and NGS Crypto is simply a blockchain mining company. The information in this video must be taken as general advice, and furthermore, NGS Crypto recommends that you go away and do your own research, get your own independent financial advice as well.
Morning, Michael.
Morning, brother. How are you?
Are you
Good.
You look like you're out and about there in Melbourne, sort of in your sort of sunny down there. I know it's sort of warm, sunny, bit of a sunshiny day, a bit of a change for us. We've had a week of rain here in Sydney. It's been absolutely ridiculous.
Have you?
Down, but
Hasn't been that crazy here.
No. Well, mate, appreciate you sort of inviting me to, I guess, sort of converse with yourself and sort of get some points across the line and sort of whatever questions that you have for me today. And look, whatever I share today with you, this is purely based on my experience, observations.
Yeah.
Look, 2020 has been an incredible year for all of us, but it's also, look, COVID has, I must say, has taught me a lot throughout this journey. Given us all the opportunity. This includes me and the family, friends, relationships, and all the professionals in my life. We've been given the opportunity to uncover and discover new things, innovation, new ideas. So, if you look at, where I come from, being a real estate agent for starters, I still get the odd sort of question mark through LinkedIn and through Facebook. And Charles, mate, what happened? Why aren't you out there serving, the home and land packages and serving the markets? And it's like, look, don't get me wrong, I love real estate. I love the bricks and mortar. I come from a family where, I grew up in construction, so I understand the paradigm, but guys, I love money more. I love watching my money more. Don't get me wrong. It's pure cold, hard truth.
That's it. And when I did meet you, Charles, you're obviously working in that space. What has made you specifically move away from that space? You're obviously a registered real estate agent, but I don't believe you're active anymore. Is that correct?
Well, no. I migrated away from the space years ago, and I worked directly with various local builders, developers. And we're talking not only at a national scale, but at an international scale. So we were serving home and land to Aussie investors that were looking at traffic over in the UK and over in the US, because, the Sydney markets, $1 million plus home in Sydney, especially if you're just tapping into the space, if you're negative gearing, I couldn't sit in front of a family and say, look, this is going to be profitable. I can't serve a system or present or educate, because you're hand-holding the client for a number of years, and they're not just customers. You're in a business where you're serving a market, you're becoming a trusted advocate to grow and build that portfolio. The life of that relationship is long-term, because, an interest-only loan, and we all know this, anyone that's in my space, it's typically 3 to 5 years. So, I couldn't go to sleep at night and say, you know what, I can't serve something which I wouldn't invest in myself. If I was to go back to that space, I said, look, I own property today. I'll serve what I'm living in. I'll serve what I own today. So unfortunately, and look, I'm sure a lot of people out there are going to disagree and go, but Charles, you can still do it. And look, each to their own. I'm not certainly not discouraging the idea. I'm certainly not going to dismiss the idea. But in today's market, the traditional ideology mate, you got to let go of the past. It's officially redundant, whether you like it or not. I like to keep whatever I present and converse or engage or present. I like to stick that conversation into what we call a reality box. Mate, if I can't make you money, why would you do business with me? Why would you work with me? You've got to have enough confidence, guarantee, mate, we don't have a crystal ball. However, knowledge is useless without action today. And so I say to the market, look, just be open to diversification. If you're an investor, like I am today, and you're holding on to whether you've got gold, silver, Bitcoin, crypto, whatever the case may be. Look, I don't know a lot about silver, so I'm probably the last person to ask. Gold, sort of halfway there. Property, yes, of course. Crypto, yes, I've become hell of a lot more knowledgeable in that regard too. Just got to be open. You can't, look, a lot of investors say, look, you've got to take the emotion out, which you do. Look, for example, if you served me a garage sitting on top of Ayers Rock today and it's going to pay me 20 grand a month, well, you're going to buy it, right? You're going to invest. So for me today, look, real estate, look, you've got to look for tenants to move out, vacancy issues, incomes aren't there anymore. And look, the market property prices today at a record low. Well, great for a first home buy. If you're looking to tap into the market and live in it, for sure. But for us investors, mate, I'm here to make money. I want to make money. I don't want my property manager that I've got to pay a fee on to say to me, oh, Charles, by the way, your tenant's looking at moving out. Those dollars
And
come out of my pocket.
Why, someone who doesn't really understand the property market too much, Charles, why do you think, what are the specific factors? Obviously, you say finding tenants is a lot harder and all that kind of stuff. Well, but why specifically now? Why,
okay.
People still need homes, right?
Yeah, people still need homes, but specifically today is, look, you've got, number one, you've got to make the inquiry. Who do you trust from a developer? Research, time it takes to find, being flown to Queensland to view a site. Then you've got the property management fees. Got to look for a tenant, tenancy vacancy issues, capital gains, and look, above all, I see here in Australia, and if you're familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, mate, this book here, I recommend to all my viewers, please take a look at this book. The whole negative gearing aspect, to reduce your tax bill and reduce, the term you loan. Look, all I'm saying is this, or sort of trying to converse is this, just be mindful of where you're reinvesting your hard-earned money today. Full stop. I kid you not. Here in Australia, look, paying less, tax minimization strategies. The real estate game has been around for a good 20, 30 years. Anyone in my position understands what I'm talking about. The game, look, it's a hard call to make to say that the game is over, but mate, the game has changed. There's been a shift in trend. Otherwise, I'd be doing it today. If I could sit with a family right now and serve a home a land package and say, look, not only can you reduce your mortgage, but you're going to be profitable. I can't do that. I don't feel comfortable in being a part of that market. Look, a lot of real estate agents are going to really, really hate what I'm about to say is, well, Charles, that's not, well, hang on a minute. Are we all trying to hang on to our jobs and wait for that con to come in at settlement? That's because we just don't know any better. Start learning, guys. That's what I say to all the agents out there. Say, look, there are other opportunities out there. A savvy investor like myself, if I walk through your open home today, I'm going to ask you, would you buy this as an investment? Would you put your money where your mouth is? See what that agent, see the reaction on their face. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as an investment is concerned, look, I've looked at other alternatives this year and my discoveries have really been an eye-opener. There's opportunities that I've been presented in the last quarter throughout 2020, and these are opportunities which I've looked at over the last 6 to 12 months, that's giving me an opportunity and a payment of upwards of 57% in the course of the next 2 to 3 years.
57%. Did I hear that correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
How do you 57? How do you get to that? If I could ask, what are you doing that would put you there?
Well, look, it's only a very, very humble investment that I've made, but I've got professionals in my life that have invested millions and tens of thousands. Now, if you're familiar with blockchain technology and cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, now what I've realized is I'm a part of an emerging market. Now, the challenge here in Australia is educating 22 million Aussies and saying, look, the real estate game, again, I say it again, I'm not saying no to the idea, but just be mindful, guys. The world has changed. We're a part of an emerging market. Now, if you're unfamiliar or unaware of what cryptocurrency or what we do as a, from a blockchain mining perspective, mate, it doesn't hurt to ask. The education was available to me. And look, what I love about, mining cryptocurrency is, number one, mate, I get paid every day. I don't have to worry about going through 20 pages of a land and a building contract. You know how long a building contract, mate, you're looking at it over 20, 60 pages long. Mate, I don't have to worry about looking for a tenant. I don't have to worry about being flown to Queensland looking at a site. I don't have to worry about a valuation falling through. I don't have to worry about the banks. I don't have to worry about dealing with the government. Mate, all I pay is tax. If you don't believe me, just ask. Look, I don't want to brag or come across too cocky here, but guys, mate, the facts speak for themselves. And look, there are other returns, and look, either whether it's 3K or 100,000 or $500,000. And look, there's also opportunity there. And I've had a number of conversations with professionals that I've worked with in the past, and they've looked at this superannuation. And this is something which came to my attention on my Facebook page, and we're talking even before COVID came about, where the markets were seeking their superannuation a hell of a lot earlier. I think it's time we sort of get an understanding, or at least get the education first, understand what the business is all about, and work out right. Having your money parked in the bank, mate, you're not in control of your money. Don't kid yourself, and please don't take
absolutely
my followers out there, mate. I'm if you're going to follow us, people don't buy BS. People buy the truth. That is just a reality. Okay. Now, if you want to take control of your superannuation, mate, we can put you in front of an independent financial advisor. No problem. There are professionals out there. I can put you in front of the right people in the right direction. Full stop. But yeah, look, it saddens me. Don't get me wrong, Michael, mate. I love real estate, but I can't put, I will not sign off on a contract to sale on an investment property today. I will not do that, because I've got to promise the client, mate, your property is going to grow in the next 5-10 years. How can I do that? And I don't want to, and I don't need to. I've got other profitable investments in place. And mate, you tell, I don't know, has anyone given you an investment from a bank that's paying anywhere upwards of 19% per annum, or a minimum of 12? I don't know any bank providing that today.
A bank? Not even close. You're lucky if you get 1.9 with the bank.
So look, at the end of the day, I'm sure I'm going to cop a lot of flack from this presentation, especially from real estate agents that are in the space, I'm thinking, well, we're all a reflection of our balance sheets and our bank statements. That's our business. I think it's important when you're presenting an idea to a marketplace, be authentic. Yes, put your money where your mouth is, but really give the market the opportunity to take that education on board, whether it's relatively new or not. Because I tell you something now, you know, if you look at Coca-Cola, they've allowed a platform to accept crypto, accept Bitcoin. Mate, what we call fiat currencies, mate, we're in a recession and we're sitting on a $330 billion bill today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not dismissing, look, the governments have done the best they can to handle the current environment. No one was ready for a global lockdown. So I'm not going to knock a skill set or someone's brand or reputation. But right now, today, being open-minded and solving today's problems are more important than ever before. You know, look at different, you know, Bitcoin is recognized. It's grown by 9,000% in the last decade.
Yeah, and I mean that obviously has its risks involved with it. You know, at the same time, but you know, as we have seen with Bitcoin, it's definitely gone up over time. I mean, being obviously a cryptocurrency mining company, NGS. You know, I really don't want this to sound like an ad, but you know, cryptocurrency mining is profitable, and that's not just for, you know, us at NGS. That's you know, that's across the board. Crypto mining's staying strong throughout this whole thing. I think that's fair to say. I mean, are you personally involved in crypto mining, if I could ask?
Yes, I am. I've got a 3-year agreement with NGS, and look, at the end of the day, it's 3 years is a based on my own personal experience and observations over the years. 3 years in a very sort of volatile space is a good time period. I think 12 months is a little too short. 5 years can be perceived as a little, probably too long for people to sort of commit. 3 years is a healthy time frame. And the opportunity. So I use a platform called CoinSpot. I get a message at 8 o'clock every night on my payout. And through CoinSpot, I've got my ANZ bank account details on there. And that's where I do my transfers, full stop. And look, don't get me wrong, it's only 12% per annum, but that's the monetary investment. It's not the point. My point is we need to now, with the knowledge that we have in place, take action, look at the options on the table, then make an informed decision. Or if you're not aware of what, you know, because from my understanding, NGS don't buy nor do they trade Bitcoin. We mine the various cryptocurrencies across the internet every day. And to be frank with you, Michael, I found part of my discovery with NGS, I found my learning, mate, it's quite interesting, the information that I picked up on. I was quite intrigued. I didn't know a lot about it in the beginning, but through the education, through the training, and look, through the customer care as well. You know, how many companies out there, look, me being a recent member of AMP, I received an email a little over a month ago regarding a restructuring cost and their fees going up. Mate, I'm not even a client of AMP. I'm not even a member of AMP longer. This is AMP we're talking about. So that is an indication to me that they don't understand who their clients or who their members are today, which kind of, am I just a number? So, and that's the same question I ask to whom have their superannuation held with a particular provider. Number one, do you actually know who your account manager is? Number two, do you understand how your money that's sitting in that superannuation fund today, how it's backed? And number three, have you actually lost any money over the course and has COVID had an impact on that? So those would be the three main questions that I would ask. And I'd be ringing your super fund provider and say, look, who is my account manager? And if they're on holidays, who comes in charge? Have I lost money? And what are my fees? And I tell you now, I can almost guarantee you, 99% will say, I haven't even bothered or cared to. Because superannuation in Australia, it's a dry subject. Very few people care about until you actually have that control. Look, there is a bit of a startup cost, but mate, $3.5K to build it. It's transferred into self-managed super fund. It's a no-brainer. But like I said earlier, if you're holding property today and you're looking to reinvest or you've got equity, just ask around. Now, when you ask for advice or just ask your neighbours down the street, make sure that when you're asking for one's opinion, make sure that they have a bit of experience in their space. There's no point in asking people that have been burnt or have had a poor experience, because I only speak to people that have had a success in this journey, because, mate, opinions don't create wealth.
Mm-hmm.
A professional that's had a reputation, and mate, their balance sheet's proof in the pudding there. So yeah, so I guess that's pretty much my view. And look, if the property market does a shift, maybe in a few years, which I don't see happening, maybe I'll take it on as a hobby. Yeah, but look, Michael, I'm greedy. I love money working for me. That's the truth. What, aren't we? Yeah. So I'm happy.
Look, at the end of the day, we all need it. We at the end of the day, we all need it. And you know, to touch on your point before about what the actual cost of, well, I mean, it's all relevant to any investment, right? Any sort of investment or any way of making your life better has got a cost associated with it.
Correct.
I mean,
one more point before I forget, and I got an email from your leader there, Mark. I got an email a few weeks ago. Apparently, from memory, there's been a bit of a restructure, so that we've got from my understanding, we've got a bit of a deadline, August the 30th. So I recommend anyone that's watching us, today or within the coming weeks, I'd make sure that you make that inquiry earlier rather than later, because the current opportunities that are available today may no longer be available coming September. So I just realized that now we do have a deadline, which is August the 30th. So the returns may change. So if you're looking at waiting 3 to 6 months, well, you may miss the boat. So I just realized that now, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Yep, that's it. It's been great, Charles. I appreciate all the advice you've brought to the table. We'll call it there. Do you have any Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, anything like that to plug?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I've got.
So what are they? Let us know what they are.
Yes, I've got my own professional YouTube channel that's featured on my LinkedIn profile wall. I've got my own personal Facebook page. I've got various business pages attached to that. By all means, simply subscribe or follow. I tend to keep those channels up to date. As an investment guru myself, I'm always open to innovation. And look, as an investor, where I'm placed at the moment, if there's any shifts in trends, I know that, especially with NGS, I will be given notice of that. That's 90 days. So, and that's that's backed by a legal team from memory. So, 3 years, I think that's a pretty good investment.
Look, I appreciate that, Charles. Make sure to go over to Charles's LinkedIn. I'll put all the links down below. Make sure to hit like and subscribe on our page as well. It really helps the channel get off the ground. And I'm sure we'll be seeing more of you in the future, in the near future, Charles. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Take care.
Pleasure. All the best.
Bye.